Today was a day that a lot of people were waiting for a long time. About 15 years, in fact. Today, the new Hey Arnold special that finally revealed everything aired. And to me, it was well worth it. Well worth the wait. This special had pretty much everything a special should have. It had its funny moments, it was emotional, it had a good story, good character development. I was really satisfied with the special. To me, out of all the reboots and everything that's been happening lately, this one was definitely the best one. I mean, we had the Samurai Jack and everything like that, and well, that did have a good final. To me, this one was a lot better. It just had a much better impact on me. So because of that, it's just a really good final. Ever since this was revealed a couple of years ago when they were going to make it, I have been waiting for this. I was just like, I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know what's going to happen. So it's finally aired today, and it was just really good. So it starts off with Arnold having this dream of trying to find his parents, but he does find them, but then they go off onto some kind of adventure and he can't follow them. So after he wakes up, he says hello to his family like he always does, and it's the last day of school. So he goes to school, and it seems that it's just going to be a normal day, but it turns out that Mr. Simmons is going to have this little contest-like thing on the last day of school. Who does that? But they have this little contest on being able to go to this place in Mexico where Arnold's parents were, of course, last seen. And Arnold thinks that this might be the one way to go and find his parents. But he isn't really 100% sure if he'll be able to go and find them, but maybe he will. So they go and do this one little thing where by trying to go and do good deeds and everything like that, but it fails, and it looks like they're down with the count and Arnold's not going to go. But then Helga comes up with this plan where she's going to go and show all these videos she's made of him to go and show to the people so they can win it. Which is kind of creepy, to be honest. I mean, she literally had tons and tons of videos of Arnold from all these episodes. I mean, if it were flipped around and it were a guy doing this, it probably wouldn't have the same reaction. People would be like, sexual harassment, sexual harassment! But if it's a girl who does it, it's okay, who cares? I really hate that double standard, but anyway, they send it in, and Arnold wins the contest, and he and his classmates are going to go. So they get going, and they get to the place where they had to go on this boat, where they supposedly go and meet at Eduardo. So while they're on the boat, they're going along, but then they get attacked by these pirates. So Eduardo tries to go and get away by being on this really big bad part of the river, and it looks like then by that what's his name, the pig commits suicide because he just goes and jumps off. I mean, I thought he committed suicide. It's like, what did he do that for? But and also before that, when Arnold pretty much just goes and ignores Helga, it looks like she's over his crush on him, because she takes out her locket, tears up the picture, and throws both of them in the river. So it looks like she's over her crush. But then they get on land, and they have to go and hike a long way, and they're all mad at Arnold. They won't even talk to him or anything. And then it turns out it's a trap. It's a trap. And it's not Eduardo at all. It's some guy named El Sanzo. And he's trying to go after Arnold. So the little amulet thing he gave him at the beginning of the movie, it turns out it's a tracking device. So he gave it to him so that Arnold can go and escape the place with some of his friends and try to go and find the green-eyed people. And then he can go and get to the thing itself. So Arnold goes on this big adventure with Helga and Gerald to try to go and find the green-eyed people, with this one guy going and find him, and he's insane. He's completely insane. Because at one point, all these arrows are going after him, and he just uses one of his guys as a shield. And you think it would be just a little gag, he'll be okay. No, he's dead. I mean, they even just kind of make it a joke. He's just like, and then flops dead. But you think that would be only one guy. But no, all of them get killed. One guy falls down to his death, and the other ones get trampled by a bunch of rocks. This is pretty violent stuff, actually. I wasn't expecting any of this, but Jesus Christ, I mean, I know it's made for the older fans, but Jesus Christ. So, Arnold and his friend go and make it to the place, and so does El Santo, and he goes and forces him to go and unlock this little thing with it. And it turns out it has this heart in it. Not a real heart, but a golden heart. So he tries to go and take it for himself, but an arrow goes into his head, and then he goes and falls off the cliff. Like I said, this is pretty violent, actually. After that, Arnold, Helga, and Gerald looks like they're also going to fall to their death, but then, what do you know it, the real Eduardo goes and saves them. After that, it looks like El Santo is trying to go and steal the heart again one more time, and he's all green this time, and after the heart falls down the cliff, he tries to go and murder Arnold, but then he goes and falls down because the poison overtook him. So, how many deaths have we had so far in this? 6, 7? This is not Nickelodeon-like. Usually they like to stay away from death as much as they can, but here they're just killing people off like flies. So, Arnold and his friends go and make it back to the little place where all the kids are, and because all the adults will put to sleep somehow, and they think they might know the answer, and Arnold finally goes and gets to see his parents after all these years, but it turns out that he needs this medicine to go and save them, and the medicine had to go and be unlocked by the heart. So it looks like all hope is going to be lost. They can't do it. But then, of course, Helga, who got her locket back from Brainy, says it might work. Even though it's not real, maybe it will work. So she and Arnold go and put it in, and it works. It works. So the medicine goes and spreads all around. All the parents are waking up, and Arnold just goes and pulls the blinds, and he sees his parents wake up. They look at him, and they embrace. It was the moment a lot of us were waiting for years. He finally got to see his parents again. It was really emotional. It was a really good feel-good moment. I liked it. It was great. So he and everyone else go back, and it looks like it was all a dream at first, that Arnold just went and had a bad dream of it. But, of course, it was real. His parents say they're going to be there for him forever, no matter what now. So it ends with them going to the 6th grade, even though they don't look like 6th graders like the 6th graders did in the show. And it looks like everything is going to be alright from now on, because his parents are now going to be with him. And, of course, Helga and Arnold are not going to be a couple since they kissed, and it looks like they went and admitted their feelings toward each other. So, it was a really good special. I liked it. I mean, it did take some time to get used to the animation. It's a tiny bit different from the original show. I really can't describe it. Maybe it's just because it's drawn in HD. Maybe that's really the biggest difference between it, but I mean, it took some time, but once I got to see it, I got used to it. And then some of the voices also, it took some time to get used to. Arnold is a tiny bit different, and so is Gerald's, but they're not too bad. They're still close enough that you can still realize it sounds like them from when the show was on, so that I'm okay with. And there was also like a few cameos and things like that one Mr. Simmons' boyfriend from the series, I forgot what his name was, I think maybe Peter, but he was in there. Whoever thought that guy would have went in and made an appearance, but he did. He made an appearance. Stoop Kid made an appearance. Pigeon Man made an appearance. Monkey Man made an appearance. They had quite a few cameos. I don't think everyone was there, but mostly. I mean, they even got the turtle back. How did they even find that thing? But, you know, they need everyone to come back for the cameos. one of the weird things they did was that they had that cell phones in it. And so I guess it took place this year or around this time, and not in the 90s like the show originally did, because Helga goes and says to her father that no one has beepers anymore. No one carries beepers, but it turns out that beepers do go and end up kind of saving them later in the show. So, even though they're outdated, it looks like they went and did end up saving the day. So, let's see, what else? It was during that one part of the movie, what? I'm trying to think of one movie, it was sort of like, it was during that scene where, all those kids are there, and none of the adults are there. It's reminding me of some movie, but I can't think of what it is. It's not Children of the Corn, I think, but maybe I'm just imagining it, but it seemed to remind me of some movie. But to me, this was just, it was an incredible special. It had everything in it, and it was great. I heard that maybe if this is a success, it might get a sequel series. So I'm guessing maybe we're going to go and see Arnold and Gerald and everyone else's adventures in the 6th grade. So if that happens, I would really look forward to it, because it could give the spotlight to other shows of getting revived in the future. So that I can see, I really like. I can't see it happening too much. Chances are just, I don't see it all that much happening, but maybe. I really think that Nickelodeon should have played old Hey Arnold episodes before this. From what I know, they didn't air any at all. They had some on their website, but they didn't air any, and that is a bad business mood. Can't think of the word I'm looking for, but it just wasn't a really smart idea to me, because if they want the special to be a success, they need to get the old fans back and new fans. And the best way to do that would be to air the episodes on Nickelodeon. But they didn't do that. I mean, if they get low ratings, it's their own fault for not doing that. I mean, I know that they always have to have SpongeBob on. I know that has to be on for at least about 12 hours a day or more, but no, they can't go and sacrifice that. SpongeBob always has to be on 24/7. So, yeah, it was a great special. It didn't make me cry, but it did make me really glad. I'm glad I saw this thing, and I'm also glad that Arnold and Helga finally got together. Even though Helga went and admitted her feelings in the first movie, but still, this special just had everything I wanted in it. So, it was fantastic. So, thank you, Craig, for that. It was great. You really outdid yourself with this final, and I hope a lot of people saw it, and I hope it gets just really, really good reviews like it should. It was a fantastic final to a fantastic series. And if we do get to see more in the future, I might turn out to go and see it. So, thank you, Craig. It was great. You did wonderful on it. It was a great way to go and end the Hey Arnold series, and I'm glad I've been watching it all these years. Thanks for watching.